Our last review topic before EOGs is statistics. So since we just did this, should just need a quick review. So remember, mean is also known as the average. We find it by adding up the numbers and then dividing by how many numbers we have. Don't forget that in the calculator, you need to make sure you click enter before you divide. Otherwise, it can mess up your answer. Remember that median is the middle number, like where you go back and forth to find which one is in the middle. But don't forget to put numbers in order first. That's the only mistake I see students make with median. Remember that mode is the one that appears most often. Remember that there can be one mode, more than one mode, if, let's say, 2 or 3 numbers repeat the same number of times, or there can be no mode. So those are kind of the options there. Range, which talks about the spread of our data, we find by subtracting the biggest number minus the smallest number. Sometimes we describe the data using things like shape, spread, symmetry, all kinds of different things. So when you see some buzzwords dealing with shape, you may see things like clusters, where data is close together. You may also see gaps in the data, and that's especially when we have outliers. Like if there's a number that is sticking out further from the rest, then that could be a gap between it and the rest of the data. Sometimes we talk about symmetry, like if data looks even or uneven, and how it's distributed. So both of these graphs right here that you see would not be symmetrical. I would say that they're kind of uneven in a way. So the descriptions that you have to come up with might be based on the particular question. So we'll see some examples of that. Go over to the circle graphs. Circle graphs display a part-to-whole relationship. They can also sometimes display part-to-part, so we're going to see an example of that in just a sec. So the entire circle has a sum of, number 100%, and also 360 degrees. Depending on what type of question we have, you may see where the degrees is important, or you may see where the percent is important. In this case, the percent is more important. So we have 2 question examples that we're going to go through together. It says, if the total budget is $2,400, how much is saved? So our savings are 15%. So we're going to set up a little percent proportion. So the percent, 15, goes out of 100. And since the 2,400 is the total budget, that means it's the whole, which is 2,400 over x. So I'm going to cross multiply to solve. So 15 times 2,400 divided by 100 will give us $360. The next question says, if $525 is spent on food, then what is the monthly budget? This one's a little bit different. So here we have food percent, so 25 over 100. But since they're giving us the part, not the whole, it has to go up top. I need to figure out what the monthly budget is. So we're going to cross multiply 525 times by 100 divided by 25 will give us $2,100. Okay, watch the next video to finish up our gold packet.